rollers, welcome back to my channel. This video is part of a fantastic collaboration that is hosted by Ellie from DIY from House to Home, as well as Tammy from the Rusted Willow, and it is guest hosted by Lisa from Our Great House. These are some absolutely fantastic and creative crafters, but once you're done watching my channel or my video, go ahead and click on that playlist and watch all the other fantastic creators that we have in this playlist collaboration. All right, now I've jibber jabbered enough. Let's get into the video. All right, rollers, bringing you into my garage. I have these planks that I'm using from the Dollar Tree. I'm actually using my mini saw that I've shown you guys in previous videos. I'm using it to cut off where the top pieces for this hanger on this planks add, because I won't be using this as a hanger. So it has two holes where the jute twine usually is. So I'm just cutting that completely off to use this as a base for this DIY. Once I'm done cutting that off, I'm going to sand where I cut it off, and then we're going to sand the whole thing because I want this to be a completely, a completely smooth surface. Now, once we're back into my craft room, I'm going to glue everything back, not back, but together so that I can have an entirely flat, base, I guess I want to say. So I'm going to use my wood glue because I prefer the smoothness of the wood glue instead of hot glue, but you do whatever you feel most comfortable. You can use E6000, you could use hot glue. I just prefer the way the wood glue melds into the wood material for me. So of course, like I said, this is just an inspiration, so you use whatever bonding element that you feel is best for you. Now, because I needed this to be a little more stable, what I decided to do was I grabbed these jumbo craft sticks. I want to say these are from Walmart. I grabbed these because I needed my base to be, like I said, stable, and I'm just going to glue them in areas of the bottom part of my base here, just to get them basically just on the seam of my, I don't even know what to call this thing, of my design. So you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to glue all the craft sticks down, and then we'll get rolling. I think I'm going to have to start to go ahead and purchase some more glue because I'm starting to look like I'm running out of glue. But this is what it looks like at this point. So I'm done. I just wanted to get some glue, craft sticks on all the base seams. Now, here's where we got really going. So these little popsicle things, I got them from the 5-quarter store, otherwise known as the Dollar Tree. I want to say that they're called table scatters. And what I did was I grabbed 6 different vinyl that I had in my stash. They're patterned vinyl, and since we always have a hard time figuring out what to do with our patterned vinyl, I thought this would be perfect time. So I grabbed these popsicle things, and I decided to cut them up, the patterned vinyl, to cut them up to use them in this project that I thought would just be ideal. So they're all 6 patterns that you can see on the left side of the screen. So we're just going to cut them up, stick them down, and roll with it. Now, my whole idea was to use the flat side, the non-glitter side, because I know that way I would have a more smooth adhesion. On top of that, it would just look a lot better. But I did mess up at one point and I glued down the wrong side. So when you look at it, you're gonna see the bumpiness. This is where it looks like it is right here. But at the end of the day, I didn't recut the material because I didn't feel like it needed to be, as long as it stuck down anyway. So it'll be perfectly okay. So we're just gonna go with it and keep doing our project. So once everything was stuck down, I grabbed my finger cutter. I want to say that's what it's called. I really have no idea. But we're gonna just trim everything down to the size that we need it to be, just to get all that excess vinyl off of our popsicles, and then we're gonna go from there. This is just you seeing me cutting all the pieces off, and then that's gonna be a good part of what we're going to do. Just take your time here to make sure you get all that excess vinyl as close to this MDF as possible. And this is how it looks from the other side once it's cut with your, now you don't have to use this exact same tool to cut it off. If you have a craft knife, you can do the same thing. So once that's done, I grab this sander. I think it's a finger sander. If you have a sanding block, a sanding sheet, whatever you have to sand, just do that, and just make sure that you're sanding in a downward motion to get all the rest of the vinyl that you can off of that. I got that done and get all this vinyl off, and then we're gonna move on to our next step. All right, now this part I did paint off camera because guys, I know you guys know how to paint. I didn't want to bore you with this process. So what I did was I painted the board with, I want to say it's a gray paint from Dixie Belle with an undertone of purple. I thought it was just a perfect neutral tone with just a hint of some pretty color that would be perfect for summer, and plus it would showcase all the tones that I was putting on top of it. So that's why I picked this particular color. Once we get this is all done and everything's ready, I'm gonna lay out all my popsicles. Isn't it pretty? I thought it looked so pretty with everything, and I didn't want to write or cut the word summer on there because in my eyes, let me know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It seemed like it was self-explanatory that it already insinuated summer. I mean, come on now, popsicles. How much better can that be? I mean, like, it's the shape of popsicles, duh, summer. So then I was trying to figure out, did I want welcome summer, hello summer, but then the welcome seemed a bit too excessive, it just seemed too much. So I went with hello. I don't remember where I got these things, the words from. I want to say it was from Joann's a long time ago. So if you can't find them, that's why. But actually I take that back. Hello is from Family Dollar. That is from the Family Dollar section, and it's still $1, but again, it was from a while ago. So we're gonna get everything lined up. I'm gonna use these Jenga blocks to space everything out so that I can get an even spacing. And then I'm going to, because you guys know your girl can't get anything aligned and straight, so that's why you see me measuring to make sure. Y'all know the deal. Don't judge me. We already know how this works, right? You've been on my channel long enough, y'all know how this works. So we're gonna pull out the ruler for the bottom section, and we're gonna make sure that everything is straight. I'm also using the grid lines on my mat to make sure that everything is still straight. And then of course I'm grabbing my other glue, my crazy glue, gel glue. This is also from DT, and I'm gonna use that to glue my pieces down. Again, no hot glue because y'all already know how I feel about hot glue. Nothing personal. Y'all use whatever adhesion y'all want to use that makes your heart go bitty bitty bum bum. Y'all got this, all right? Now when you get to the metal pieces, you definitely don't want to use hot glue if that is your go-to glue, because hot glue and metal do not really jive. So that's why I'm using Gorilla Glue here, because my other glue actually ran out and I didn't have any more. But you can either use this Gorilla Glue or you can use E6000. I don't tend to use E6000 because since I suffer from migraines and sensitive to smell, E6000 has a very strong smell. I always thought that this one didn't used to have a strong smell, but for some reason it does, just not as bad as E6000. So we're going to glue this on and we're going to see how lovely it looks. And yes, I intentionally laid it slanted. Don't worry, it was on purpose. I don't want y'all to think that, girl, you laid that so crooked. That was on purpose. Okay, so I thought I was done at that point, but then I have these two HTV pieces that you'll see from a project later on in the video that I had to rescue, because when I was doing it on those projects, I realized that I shouldn't have mirrored them, and I mirrored them. So what happened was that these were the only two that I was able to rescue. So I'm deciding that I'm going to use them here, since I was able to just reuse and repurpose, multi-purpose, multi-use. So I grabbed them and I'm just heat pressing on here with my mini easy press. There we go, it's the sun, and then we're gonna add the watermelon on the other end. I just thought that it added a little more zhuzh, or whatever the word is. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Now keep in mind, when you're doing tack-ons for HTV, you don't use the entire heat pressing time. You only do a few seconds because you don't want to burn your HTV. I say that a lot when I'm doing this stuff. You only use a few seconds to just put it on, do the next process. All right, now we're gonna flip everything to the back, and I'm using this wired jute twine. I love using this. It's actually also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna grab my staple gun, and I'm gonna just staple this on top of my popsicle sticks. Now the gun that I'm actually using actually has the smallest staples that you can find. I want to say it's 1/4 of an inch. I also have another staple gun that has longer staples. Just be mindful of the wood that you're putting this in. I say that again, this has the smallest staples that I own for this project. Of course, I had to put it on a mat because I realized, girl, you are stapling on your glass mat. You're gonna crack this mat, and then you're gonna be so mad at yourself. All right, so since I was looking at it, I was like, the back looks totally a hot mess. So I prefer my projects to look finished, even though they're staying on my home, but just in case I decide to give them away. So grab some craft paper from your Dollar Tree. And yes, I pulled out the hot gun, the glue gun. Yes, I did, because this is one of the projects that I do love using it for. And here we go, precision tip for the win. You just put it on there, run beads of hot glue, and it's perfection. It really is. It's just great. Once you get that done, grab any kind of knife, craft knife, whatever knife you have, or you can just go automatically to the sanding block and just take off all that extra paper from your project, and then you're pretty much done. See, I'm using it now to get all the extra pieces that I wasn't able to get. I just wanted a closer finish. Just remember to sand in a downward motion. And this project is going to be pretty much done. I'll show you the final reveal at the end of the video. Project number 2 is super simple. Now these 3 jars I got at Dollar Tree 2 to 3 years ago, and they've just been sitting in my stash. I don't know if they're currently available at any dollar store, but you can probably try to find something very similar. Now these solar lights, I don't know if they have them currently this summer as well. I have not paid attention, so unfortunately I don't really know. So all we're going to do is make sure that you take it apart to make sure that the lights are functioning the way that they should be. Then we're going to grab these 3 bags of sand that you can find at Dollar Tree as well. It's in the plant section, candle section, somewhere around there. Then you're just going to fill the container up to your desired amount, because you just need this to weigh the container down and to help basically as a base to put, so that you can put, as you can see here, just put the solar lights inside of it. It's just to give it a sense of stability when it's in there. Guys, don't mind my pee bag. You're gonna see this in a lot of my videos, so just ignore it. Anyway, so as you can see here, this is what I'm doing. I'm just filling everything in, taking the tags off, and then we're just filling them out. I bought 3 bags thinking I was going to use 1 bag per jar, and I ended up not even needing as many. But you can do more, you can do less, but it just depends on how you feel that you're going to need. And that's pretty much all I'm doing here. I'm moving everything around to make sure that I've got enough in each thing. So later on in the video, I'll show you how it looks once it is powered up by the sun, sitting outside in my patio. And that is pretty much all you're going to do for this project. It's so freaking easy. All right, moving on to our next project. I know quite a few people have bought these little canvas things, and this idea I actually got from Sammy on Unicorn Dust Design. So when I saw her do it, I was like, I can probably create something similar, because I think I have sheets like she had, but not exactly, and I'll show you why I say not exactly. So moving on, I got the panels, canvas, I think they're canvases, and I decided to grab my DIY paint called Tarnish Pearl. Now, when I started with this canvas, I was not expecting it to be as slick and slippery as it was. So I started painting my surface. And here you'll see why I say it is like the paint wasn't even doing it anything. I was just looking at it like, what is going on? So I let it sit there thinking, okay, well, once it dries, it'll dry where it'll have more coverage. And yeah, guys, that did nothing. Nada, zip, zero. So of course I went up to my craft room and I grabbed the gesso, which is my go-to for when I need to prep canvas surfaces. If you've not used gesso, I introduced it in one of my videos back in the Christmas time. Gesso is basically a painter's prep surface. It goes on like paint, and it just gives you a lot of not slick, but it gives you grit to your surface. You just apply it like paint. You'll see me do it here in a second. And this is what happens. It's like magic in a bottle. Just magic. It goes down white, but you can also get a clear version. You can get a black version. And look at the difference. And I ended up doing 2 coats, but look at the difference with just 1 coat. Isn't it gorgeous? Like perfection. I was like, why didn't I just do this from the beginning? Like, I was like, yeah. Now, mind you, when Sammy did it, she did use a completely different paint on hers. So that could have been it, or her canvas was very different from the one I used. So I have no idea, but mine didn't work, so we had to use something else. Okay, so now this sheet is from Jane Davenport's collection from, I want to say 2016, I want to say 20, maybe 17, 18. It's way pre-COVID, so it probably is 2016, 17. So this is called a washi sheet. So it is sticky on the back once you peel the backing. So we're just gonna lay this down and then figure out what I want to use and what I don't want to use. Now, because I don't want this to be such a harsh line on my canvas itself, I'm gonna just grab a water brush to wet the paper and then rip off the sheet so that I don't have those harsh lines. It just looks like I tore the paper off, which is what I want. Now, of course, if you don't have a brush like I do, which is a water paint brush, you just use whatever paintbrush you have and dip it in water and you'll get the same result. Now, once that's done, I'm peeling back the backing of this so that I can reveal the sticky portion. Now, you can use a styrofoam sheet, I don't know, but this is just a sandwich bag that I was using to keep my paintbrush wet. And I'm just using that to push down on the sticky sheet to go on my canvas. Once that's down, I'm actually needing this to do the same thing to rip off the sheet off the canvas. So it doesn't work perfectly because of the type of material that this is. If you were using decoupage paper, it would actually work a lot better. But I was making my life complicated. So this is why you see your girl struggle on this part. So yeah. Now, after that's all done, I'm grabbing this liquid patina because I needed to seal the edges. But at this point, I was kind of insecure of what I should have done. Was I supposed to have waited to, that's where you see me pausing. Should I have waited to do the liquid patina on the edges because that's where I was really trying to seal down those edges. I didn't want them to lift up, but I was like, you know what? We're just gonna wing it because it really doesn't matter. And the paper started to wrinkle, and I was like, you know, I'm not sure, but I kind of like the way it looks because it's an undersea appearance, and I don't actually mind it. I don't hate it. So we're winging it. Y'all know I don't really mind how we do things around here, so it's okay. So from here, I was trying to figure out which color did I want to use. You couldn't see what I had, but I had 057 as well as Mermaid Tail, and it's also from, no, it's not from DIY Paints. It's actually from the Dixie Belle line. So since I couldn't figure out which two colors that I wanted to use, I ended up mixing the two colors together because Mermaid Tail was too green. There, you can see it right there, was too green, and 057 was I don't know, it was the right color, but I felt that I wanted something a little bit more. So I mixed the two colors together to get the color that I was actually going for. And there you see me adding it on the edge of the canvas so that there was no more white on there. And I'm just using a chippy brush to get everything just painted on there because I didn't want it to be completely just too smooth. I just wanted it, I don't know, I just wanted to look up the chippy brush, and there we have that. So this is actually going to be a product that's going to be in my office to remind me that on difficult days, just take a deep breath. And for the final step, I'm just going to grab that liquid patina and seal everything back into the canvas, and that's going to be really the last step of it. Let me know again what you guys think about this one. I'll show you the finished product at the end, I think. And again, this is something that I did see Sammy do on her channel, and I thought that was a really wonderful idea, and I'm just duping it. Thanks, Sammy. All right, guys, this project was a little on the heavy side. So I grabbed this mirror that I've been eyeballing for a couple weeks now, trying to decide if I wanted. So I finally grabbed it, and I had already had this rub on transfers because I thought it was really, really pretty. And I saw one of our other creators also had it, and I was like, okay, well, I might as well just figure out what I'm going to do with this transfer. So I got it. So I'm cleaning off my mirror, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do with this transfer. Now, the thing with this rub-on transfer is that it's very unique. It's not like any other transfers that Dollar Tree has in its store. So one of the first things I noticed when I took it out was, one, it stinks. It stinks. Oh my gosh, is it foul? So that's put aside. Let's try to figure out how we're going to put this on this mirror, because I really like it. Now, most rub-on transfers, you lay it down, you rub it on, and you go from there. And that's what I thought this was going to be. But let's place this down. Let's figure out how we want it, and let's get this going. This is where I finally figured out that I had to peel something from the back of it. I had already cracked the mirror. There's a crack that you guys can't see, so that's okay. That's when I realized I had to peel something from the back. So here I am peeling this layer from the back, and as I'm peeling it, pieces of the transfer is coming up with it, and I'm going, oh my goodness. Then I realized, Ro, you should have just done this piece by piece. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just cut it off. And yeah. So then I realized, well, shoot, I'm thinking I could have just lifted it up, but then I realized once I laid it down, I couldn't pick it back up. So I was just like, well, you're stuck with the position now, so you got to roll with it. But you see what happened when I tried to lift it up, and when I realized I couldn't lift it up, the pieces were just stuck there. So here I go, pushing it down, laying it. Yeah, it was a hot mod messery. So then the pieces that are stuck on my glass mat, we're not even going to discuss that because it was just stuck on my glass mat and I had to work to get it off. So here I am piecemealing the pieces at the bottom that I needed to cover up. Yeah, it was crazy. So when I got done with the project and my daughter sees it, she goes, Mommy, you realize that you messed up, right? I'm going, girl, This is a unique piece of art. We are going to leave it like that. And we're going to set this piece of art, Bob Ross style. Okay, so here I am just piecemealing the bottom of this to make the bottom fill up somehow, some way, whatever we got going on over here. So then, guys, y'all got me, right? Y'all got me. So at the end, because I didn't want this to move anymore, I grabbed that magic, magic, whatever it's called. And then I got this product, also smells like ammonia, added on to the smell of this transfer. And I don't even know that. But anyway, all in all, it came out really nice. I'm actually not upset with it. So it's sitting in the back wall of my craft space, looking like it belongs there, like it's supposed to be there all along. But I do recommend that you guys seal this if you use it, because it will scrape and scratch and peel off. That's my recommendation for you. All right, for our final project, I've got this banner that I had gotten from Expressions Vinyl a few summers ago. So we're going to go ahead and start that. So I've pressed my banner to get all the moisture out and wrinkles and all that stuff out already. And one of the ways that I had tried to figure out how to get the center for this banner was just grab the bottom of it, bring it to the middle, and create a line by using my nail to create that crease right down the center. This gives me pretty much a perfect center line. Once we've got all that done, we're gonna grab our pieces, and these are all gonna have 2 layers. They're either gonna be double pattern vinyl pieces, or they're gonna be a pattern and a glitter HTV. They're all going to be HTV, sorry about that. And what's going to happen is I'm going to layer them on here, and I needed that center line so that I can make sure that everything was properly centered on here. That was the only way to do that. And I'm going to do all my pattern vinyl HTV on here first, because as you all know, pattern vinyl is a lower temp, so that's about 305, and it's about 20 seconds. And you peel back the liner with both pattern vinyl, pattern HTV, and glitter iron-on. You're gonna do this with warm peel back, as I should say. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So you don't do it cool, you just do it warm. So I'm gonna lay on my pattern, peel it warm, and then do my glitter iron-on, and then peel that back cool as well. So 305 for my pattern, and then we're going to bump that up to 320 for my glitter. So I'm just going to let you watch this while I do all this. And this is a extremely long banner. All right. Okay, now that I've got the word summer all laid out, now we're gonna bring in the deco pieces. So here you're gonna see my watermelon back in, the popsicle, and then you're gonna see the sunshine. So that got laid down, and now we've got the other 3 pieces. So I think it came out to a total of 12 pieces all together with the summer. I have no idea anymore. It seems like a while. So here's all the other pieces. Primarily, we're gonna have glitter, except for the beach ball. So there we have it. And this piece was actually my last piece, and I got distracted, and I thought that I burnt it there for a minute. So this is the end of the banner, and here's how it looks from the point that I'm doing this video, where it's all done. Aren't they all absolutely stunning? This did take me a little bit to get done, but I absolutely love it. This is a very long banner. So this is the end of this video, but here's what everything looks like. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had a blast making absolutely everything. Again, thank you for watching the video and for clicking on it. I hope you guys enjoyed the playlist, and that you guys go ahead and click on the link underneath the description of this video so you can watch everybody else's video. Thank you guys. Oh, and by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, again, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hug on that subscription button. Bye.